him with one hammer isn't gonna kill you.
Unless Ulvin
Not
and his
again.
cronies hear about it. Now leave me be.
Well, that depends on what you need a measuring stick for.
Shop looks closed.
Yep,
Can I still use the workbench?
I ain't gonna stop you.
That's a lot of
What in the dance? Now I've seen everything.
yeah. Wooing an Oscar
And you are?
sounds like a great idea.
About time you said hi. Wow. What we do?
Someone said I had the best singing voice in all
Hey, Mildef. Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hole.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Oven didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals, no trouble.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they liked my food. Or the ale.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in the scrounger pile if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way, assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildef. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so. Ah, hello again. How goes your search?
About that. I should be going.
Right.
Already got enough meat and bitter leaf. Just need to grab a metal panel from the scrounger pile.
Proper survey of the valley. Laughing at them, we already got maps. If you call a few squiggles on a piece of paper.
We are on the same side here, Ulvund. The bristlebacks threaten us all.
What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession to face it. What other choice?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of Hughes.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Ulvund Freehold, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy, and
The embassy? Ah. Greater gears for greater matter.
once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my...
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take... Well, best get to it, hey?
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Oseram gamble with their lives. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're labor. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Oseram life.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Oseram laborers of this land who do all the backbreaking. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right.
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
If Chainscrape is on Karja land, shouldn't a Karja be in?
The sensibilities of good Osram folk, of course. You think a Karja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light with...
So you have no real authority then? People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You said you founded Chainscrape.
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents, and I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off every—
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment, but my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these...
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Osram a lot.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done, this valley is gonna get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking at...
Just be ready to blow the whistle. See what that Karja magistrate wanted. I bet.
Still here, I see.
I have other places to...
By all means.
Am I lost, or am I exactly where I'm meant to
Look at you! Why don't you bring that phony ass word over here and say that again?
Can't tell his iron from his arm. That mine will be the death of all of us. Oh, I take that back! This'll be the death of me!
Waiting for you to finish that fascinating story. Wouldn't you like to know?
What happened to you?
That damn mine is what happened to me. It won't be the last injury if Ulvin keeps shoving those tongs into those tunnels.
What mine?
Northeast of Chainscrape. I told Corvin we should stop when the first cave-in happened. But... Ulvin probably...
How about you slow down and take me through it? You mentioned you were injured in a cave.
Yeah. A couple days ago. That's how I heard this. Corvin and the others were opening a new vein while I was checking on an older one. As soon as their blast hit, tunnel I was in might have dodged it if I wasn't running on barely a spark of sleep. We were pushing too hard.
And you're afraid Corvind and the others might not be as lucky if it happens again.
Mm-hmm. Hit the nail right on.
How come Ulvin's in charge? Don't these mines belong—
Try telling Ulvin that. He brought in all the backing to get him open. Fire and spit. You ask him.
Who's Corvind?
He's their foreman. And a damn good one. The kind that knows how to deal with management when it gets unreasonable. But Ulvin... his demand... Corvin's been doing his best to appease. He even blamed himself for my injury, when it was Ulvin.
Sounds like a good guy.
That's why we all put up with the long hours and loud... But if the whole mine becomes unstable, I'd rather suffer Ulvin's wrath than...
I could check in on your crew if I'm in the area.
What a...
make me go drag both your ears off.
To the claim!
I'll bet you 10 shards they don't make it.
Ah, Savior!
I
Over
bet
here!
nothing. Only idiots can climb up to that different tower.
Fine. 50 shards says the fella falls first.
Savior, thank you for taking the... and my condolences that you had to endure all the...
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you...
The idea that the Karja purposely let Bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the Bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them, but unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountain.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is Barren Light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a Help me shut Ulvund up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvund wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of only the portions, mind you, that produce...
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram, he could secure more investment for their numerous...
He can't get those investments without the
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so and why blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks, no matter how absurd...
How does blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks help?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust, and claiming that the Karja loosed the Bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the... And with the Bristlebacks bringing work in the valley, Ulvund has plenty of time to pick at bear...
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction...
How did you get stuck?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of this. It was an honor.
But your job would be a lot easier with like Ulvund blasting hot air all...
Ulvund's not going in. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself. Oh, I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
You said the Bristlebacks were first spotted west of the...
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before he took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Karja for every problem under the sun, and maybe then he'll actually focus.
Want that brew?
Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go.
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original, straight out of the Forbidden. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my board. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine. Gotta move that machine forward. Move that machine forward. It's all part of the learning process. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close enough to attack one of my machines. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage. Did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine. Go ahead, just sprint over to my machine. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. Go on. Move your machine downwards. You're gonna have to move that machine downwards if you want to see this next trick. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or 2.
I'll try and
These are all my spare pieces. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. You know, I've lost my fair share of pieces after brew hopping. No need to thank me, always a pleasure to help out. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up.
Thanks.
I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines. Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together, and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power but they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, this means now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it, which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. End your turn so we can keep going, okay? Go ahead, end your turn for now. End your turn, please. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering from me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. Help yourself to that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram-type machine. Attack an enemy with it, and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash-type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so it's got all the tips, and I think that about does it for now. This is gonna be fun. Come up. Your turn. Okay, let's see. Ah, down to one piece. I might win this thing. That was brutal. Looks like I lost. Let's do this. Time to make my move. Your move, Red. Time to get serious. That's it for me. My turn. Board's all yours. Thank the forge you hit armor. Okay, let's see. You're up, Red. Well, that's done now. My turn. One less piece on the board. Off the board it goes. A single machine left? That ain't good. Time to get serious. You got me down to one piece. I am impressed. Time to make my move. Oh, I won! Probably shouldn't sound so surprised, huh? Here we go. Board's all yours. I'm up. Your turn. That was a surprise. Knocked right off the board. Okay, let's see. Knocked right off the board. You're up, Red. Time to get serious. That's it for me. Off the board it goes. Time to make my move. That's the game. You up for a rematch? Good luck. Your move, Red. My turn. Your move, Red. Come up. One less piece on the board. Armor is a machine's best defense. My turn. Well, that's done now. I was hoping you wouldn't do that. That was brutal. Time to get serious. Your turn. Indigit here? Okay. Let's play. You're up, Red. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. Knocked right off the board. Come up. That's it for me. One less piece on the board. Guess Guess I shouldn't have left that weak spot open, huh? Just one piece left. That sure dampens the forge. Just one piece left. Okay, let's see. Your turn. Oh, I thought I had that one. I'll see you later, Aloy.
Where's your sensitive? Oh, hi! I'm still waiting for you to finish that fascinating.
You wanted to speak to me?
Well, you know better than anyone it's a dangerous world out there, and not just against machines. Name's O'Dirk. This here's my training pit. Best place to practice close combat this side of the Forbidden West. Say, I wonder who'd win in a fight. You, the savior of Meridian, champ.
Who?
I've heard the Tenakth have training pits just like it's how the warriors get so fit, and only the very best from the pits get to train.
So, to find the Enduring, I should look for these training pits if I'm ever out that way?
You'll have to go far if you do. The Tenakth are split into 3 clans. 3 clans, 3 capitals, 3 training pits. My guess is you'd have to beat all of them if you want to train if the Tenakth don't kill you on sight, that is. But that's a far spark in the wind. I also offered challenges to test your...
Who would I be fighting exactly?
Well, I know you're the savior and all, but you have to beat all the others first to challenge me. Rules are rules. We only use dual blades and practice arrows. These drunken fools would run themselves through otherwise. You'll have to leave everything but your spear and practice arrows at the gate. But I'll look after your gear, not to worry. So...
I might.
That's what I like.
That's all for now.
Let me know when you want to try...
Go by in a blur, don't they? Phew, fast as lightning.
Oh.
seems to energize after attacks. I think landing heavy attacks or combination of energizing. And their armor's off. Shoot the energy. See if you can trigger a blast to cause damage.
Brings us together. I'll tell you politics, but hey.
Hey, I thought you'd left by now.
Aren't we a sight for sore eyes?
Almost ready to go? Yeah!
You know what'll make you feel better? Not that empty.
I wrestled enough. Yes, ignoring me again?
Yeah! Looking sharp as ever.
Hope to catch you soon. Yeah, you. Yeah! The best thing in all the...
Where'd I put my
Salutations, fair
like
maiden.
this one?
Just give the
You did it!
mail. We'll be friendly in no time.
This should be useful.
That spear of yours
Now I just
seems
need to
to
find Aaron to
energize
help him
after
clear the
attacks.
bristles.
I think landing heavy attacks or combinations will energize. Use that energy.
Yeah, you.
Try attacking your enemy. See if you can energize them. And their armor's off. Shoot the energy. See if you can trigger a blast to cause damage. You did it! Power attacks smash weapon blocks to really hammer an enemy with damage. But they're slow and leave you vulnerable, so pick your moment.
I thought you'd left by now.
Gotta keep going.
Heavy attacks break weapon blocks and do more damage. But they're slow, so your opponents might counterattack.
attacks are fast, but easily blocked. So learn to combine them with other attacks. You think your spirit can deal with that armor? Use attacks to energize it. Then hit your opponent with a heavy or power attack to blast the armor off.
Some damn good gear you got there, Red. Where? You log?
That energy doesn't last forever. That spirit can give you the edge in battle. Keep energizing it, and then your enemies. Triggering those energy blasts should help you vanquish your opponents. Nice to see you back here. What can I help you with?
Wonder if this is worth it. Making these moments. Tonight thought my day could get.
Hope I didn't miss too much last night.
Proper survey of the valley.
Oh, hi!
Nice, is it?
If I find where these machines are made, I might learn how to override them. This'll keep. Scroungers. Mildev said I could find a metal panel in one of their scrap piles. Acid'll do a lot of damage. Can't override that now. Need to get data from the cauldron, if I can find one. Keep going. the scrap piles for a metal panel. No metal panel. Better check another scrap pile. Get this from my stash when I need it. I think I have everything I need for Mildev. Good thing, too. I can use a decent meal. Hold on to this for later. Better shake off this wet. I'll save this for a dyer. Screenshot might trade for something good.
Ah, there you are. I happen to receive another visit from Olvin himself. He was pushy, but
I'm listening.
when I made his meal, I used 3 instead of 2.
Each journey begins with a... I think I have everything you asked for.
Then just as you have inspired me, let us see if I can return the favor.
Wow. Mild, if that was...
Next time you want the best provisions, you know where to find me. And your next order of any dish will be on the house.
Thanks. And don't forget to stand up for yourself.
Funny you should say that. As it happens, I'm already cooking up my neck. Hope to see you again.
It might be a good idea to stock up on some food before... I head
Now
back
all
out.
you're missing is a flagon of ale.
And see what else.
Aloy, change your mind about that brew?
Where you off to, flame hair? Can't you see the valley is shut down?
Help! It's after me!
That bristleback's gonna run him down. Get to safety!
Thank the forge you were here.
Get inside until it's safe.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Machine doesn't like fire. I'll fill up while I can. Looks like some sort of quarry.